Hello guys, and welcome to my tutorial on how to make a loading screen in Unreal Engine just using blueprints and no C++. So the reason why I'm making this tutorial is because, again, like my Blockbench tutorial, I have not seen anywhere else online that has this solution that I found myself. And I remember when I was looking for a way to make a loading screen and I couldn't really find one, so I kind of ended up making one myself. It's kind of like a mixture of other ways I've seen, but in my opinion, I think it's one of the better ways, or more simple ways, if you could say that. Of course, the best way would be to do it in C++, but I wanted to do it in Blueprint so I could easily change it and not have to reload my entire project every time I made a change. So anyway, first thing you will need when making a loading screen that is seamless is you're going to need a container level. And what I mean by a container level, it's literally just an empty level. In this empty level, the only thing you want is your game mode. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so your game might have multiple game modes. So for me, this is my game right here. I have two. So I have one when you're in the overworld, right? I have one for the main menu, because you don't walk around and stuff. It's literally just a main menu. I actually have three, sorry. And I have one where you're in battle mode because it's a JRPG, right? Okay. So I have a game mode for all three of those because they have different rules, right? So the thing is, wherever you want a loading screen to happen, you're going to need a level with that game mode in it. And the reason why you have that is because you can't change the game mode once a level is loaded. So for this method, we need an empty level with that game mode. So me, right here, I have one. I literally have a folder called loading here. So I have two. I don't have one for the battle system because I don't have a loading screen for that. So you can see right here, it's literally blank. So if you wanted to do this, you would just create a new level. You could do whatever you want on the game settings. The only important thing is that it has the game mode that you want. Okay, so you don't really have to do anything else here. It doesn't really matter. Just leave it as default. Doesn't matter. And the way this works is that you have a loading level, which handles like the loading screen. And then once the level, you have another level that you really want, you put that level inside the loading level, and then it looks like it was loaded in, which it was. But yeah. So let me go here and kind of show you this. So on each level that you have, so I have a little custom function here. So you need a way to save the level that you want. So right here, I have it as a variable, world soft object. This is passed in from somewhere. I have it on a save game variable. Okay, because that's easy. But you don't have to. You could put it on the main game instance. It has to be anywhere on the main game instance. I only have it on a save variable so you can save and load the game and it'll see what level you're on, right? But you don't have to. If you don't have saving in your game, you don't have to do that. You can just put it on the game instance. And the reason why you want it on the game instance is because whenever a level is loaded in, everything is removed except for the game instance, right? So you want to keep that variable saved. So you put that on here. I have a custom function here that I can show you. Very, very simple, and I'll go through it with you guys. So right here I have again a loading widget. So this is what actually you see on the screen. I have it on the game instance so it doesn't go away. And this is versatile, so you can have if you want like different types of loading screens, like one shows like tips or something, another one has like a graphic of some other sort. You can do that, and that's why I have it as a class reference, so I don't have to scroll through like 50 million other widgets too. So once this level is loaded in, the loading level, right, it creates this widget, it adds it to the viewport, then it loads in the level that you want. So it's passed in from, again, the game instance because that's not destroyed. And the reason why I have custom level here is because it can be passed in or it can be from the game data, which honestly I don't even know why this is here. Sometimes my coding is sort of a little strange. I'd have to think about it, and I don't want to do that right now. So anyway, once that's done, you can return the level reference and the loading reference. So you do need references to both of these. And why? Well, let's go back to the level blueprint. You need to have a reference to the level that you're loading. And there's this neat little function in Unreal where it's like, you can see if the level is loaded. This only works with level streaming. So that's why you got to use level streaming for this to work. So me, I have a little delay of 1 second. You can make it as short as you want, as long as you want. I find 1 second is a pretty good time. You don't want the player to be waiting too long on a loading screen. You don't want it to check unnecessarily too many times, so that's why I put 1 second. And then once that's done, it's like, okay, at this point we can remove the loading screen that you created, which is in this function that I made. And I also have this here. So for me, I would occasionally have this issue if your level was really, really large, where the level would technically finish loading, but not all the objects inside would be loaded. So you would kind of see like a half-finished loaded level in, and the loading widget would already have disappeared, which is not supposed to happen, right? So the solution for that is to have something that you know will be loaded like near the end of the level, and you can check that and the level loading before you remove the loading screen. Okay, so I hope I'm making kind of sense. So if I, for example, if I play this level right now, right? You see a loading screen, and it goes to a level, right? Then that's because I have one by default. So a default goes here. You can see it work, right? So this level that is loaded here, right? It's a level instance. And I can, walk around and do everything that I'd normally be able to do if it was this level and not some other one, I guess. Really, and if you're wondering about this function, I got a bunch of crap that I just like, okay, is the level loaded in, or if it isn't, should the player be put where they saved, or should they be put into the default spot? So, I mean, that's my game, personally. You don't have to worry about that for a loading, basic loading tutorial. Most important function to look at here is this custom one I made. It literally just removes the loading screen. So if you want, you could do remove from parent, and it would do the exact same thing. I only did this function because I wanted to play a little animation, and that's it. So I'm in. So yeah. So basically, to make a loading screen, should I write this on Notepad or like Paint or something? I don't know. Yeah, why not Notepad? Okay. Because I know some people are just going to skip through and be like, this video is so long, I just want to see that for results. Let me just, that's literally me. And that's another thing. I would go to get a loading screen tutorial, and all the videos would be like 30 minutes. I'm like, dude, does it really take 30 minutes to create a load? No, it does not. Okay, so step 1, create a regular level. The end. So you would make a blueprint like I have here. Okay, this is the basic loading blueprint, so you probably have one already, and if you don't, make one, I guess. It can literally just be a screen that just says loading on it. It doesn't matter. And then to make other instances of that class, you would just go to user interface, widget blueprint, type in that one that you made. So for me, it's WP loading. You would click this and then click select, and this would make it a child of that class. You can see that in the corner if you did it correctly, and then you could change it how you want. Now it's important to not put anything here, okay, because that will literally remove everything. Like here, if I do this, see, now it's just plain white, which is not what you want it, right? So you have to put some variables in the parent one that you can then instance edit on this one here. If I can see that, here we go. So you can see I changed the texture, I changed the background color. See? So everything that you want to change on the loading blueprint, you have to make a variable if you want to do it this way. And maybe you don't. If you want to start from scratch, you can probably do that too. But yeah, so that's the way I did it personally. So that's how you make a loading screen in Unreal Engine with level streaming. Now there is a downside to using this method, and it's a pretty big downside depending on how you code. So you can't reference, if you use this method, you can't reference objects in the level on the level blueprint itself. And what do I mean by that? So if you go to the level blueprint here, right? I've seen some people do this. I personally didn't do it, so it's not really a problem for me. But some people like to reference stuff in their level by doing like this, clicking on it, dragging it in, and putting it in like this, right? So you can't do that. It won't work. And that's because it's checking from, you can see here it says from persistent level. Technically, if you use level streaming, the level that you load in is not the persistent level. It will be the loading level. So it's going to check the loading level for this variable or this object, and it won't exist because it's blank. So if you do stuff like this, you can't. So yeah, that's really the only downside, I think, for that. You have to get it another way. So like maybe like get actor of class or something like that. Some other way to check if to get the object. And if you were wondering also about, hey, if I'm using level streaming, when I open another level in the same game mode, does that mean that two levels are loaded? And the answer is no. And why is that? So, it is not that because when you go from level to level, even if it's the same game mode, you're using open level. An open level will remove everything except for the game instance. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to show you this little door I made, even though it doesn't look like a door, because I'm still making it. So this will take you from level to level, right? So as an example, okay. So I made this custom little function here called open level with loading. It's really simple. Basically, you get the loading widget. You basically get everything that you want to transfer over to the new level, right? That you want to persist when you open a level, because opening a level, again, will remove literally everything. So, except anything that's on the game instance will stay. So you can see here, I'm saving the widget class, I'm saving the level that'll be brought in. Autosave, that's for me, that's this is just for testing. So at the end of the game anyway, you will still use this open level by object reference, and that will be the loading level that I was talking about before that has the game mode on it. So if I can go back to here, so you can see the loading screen class, the loading level, that's the game mode, the actual level that you want, which is whatever you want with the same game mode. This stop time is for, I have an in-game clock, so that's why that's there. Autosave again, I have autosave functionality, that's why that's there. So yeah. So because you're using the open level function, it's going to unload the previous level anyway. Even though it's the same level, you're using open level, so it's going to destroy it and then create it again. Alright, never mind. I'm just going to edit that out. So anyway, that's how you make a loading level in Unreal Engine 5 in Blueprints. I hope this helped you. If it didn't, comment below. I'll try to answer your question. So yeah. Stay tuned for more tutorials, I guess, whenever I want to make one. So.